good, everybody? It's your boy Chris, aka Mr. Fantastic. Welcome back to another sneaker review. Today I have a box of a Jordan 1 OG High, another one of the most highly anticipated sneakers to come out in 2020, the Dark Mochas. I did not hit on this pair. This was another pair that I was lucky enough to get my hands on just for this review that I borrowed from my uncle. He's a sneakerhead that's been in the game much longer than I have, and so he was able to reap the benefits of being in the game a little bit longer and getting lucky on Sneakers app. So he was able to get these in a size 14, and by his request, just like with the Jordan 5 Off-Whites that I reviewed as well, I'm gonna be reviewing these with a pair of gloves. And since it isn't my shoe, and since this is for resale purposes, I'm gonna be a little bit limited in what I can do reviewing the shoe. And to compare it in terms of the quality, I have one Jordan 1. I have one Jordan 1 that you guys have seen several times before. It is my Jordan 1 Bloodline. I'm going to have that here off to the side, and I really just have it there as a reference to compare to another OG High that a lot of you probably already know about. It's been on this channel before, and it's a sneaker that came out 2 years ago, so a lot of you might even have this sneaker already. So let's go ahead and jump into the box. Just like with any Jordan 1 OG High, comes in the OG Nike box that it's always come in ever since 1985. You gotta appreciate the history there. And here we have it, man. This is big, size 14. Yeah, I'm not used to holding such big shoes since I'm a size 10. But here we have it, the Jordan 1 OG High and the Dark Mocha colorway, one of the most highly anticipated sneakers of 2020, probably the biggest Jordan 1 aside from the Dior ones that came out earlier this year. A lot of people were really excited about this shoe. I personally wasn't super excited about it. I wasn't trying to get my hands on to rock them. It wasn't like a shoe that I had to have. It's not even a shoe that I'm personally gonna look at trying to cop anytime soon. I mostly wanted to get a pair of them to review on this channel because I know that a lot of you guys are really about this shoe, and it will be a good shoe to make some profit on in the resale market. But I personally did not get my hands on them. For that, I just borrowed a pair for the sake of this video. So shout out to my Uncle Darwin. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's really take a good look at these. So let's get the other one out. Get the box out of the way. Now, right out of the box immediately, I can already tell this is a really much higher quality leather on this sneaker. Really gotta appreciate that, especially in a Jordan 1 retro. I talked about this before on my Jordan 1 mid video. In fact, let me grab that one too. I have my Jordan 1 mid right here as well. What I talked about in that video is that whenever you get a pair of Jordan 1 mids, Jordan 1 lows, you typically get synthetic leather and some much lower quality leather. And it creases much more easily. It's really stiff. It's almost like paper as opposed to like, really high quality organic leather or like fabric or suede that whenever you fold it or it doesn't crease quite as bad or as easily. This leather already looks a lot more plush and soft. Just putting like a little bit of pressure on the toe box, it really, it just sort of bounces back and around. Like, it's really smooth, buttery, and soft, and that's exactly what you want in a high quality leather sneaker. So I really like the quality on the leather already. And then on the back, with the heel and the wings, you have this nubuck. It's not suede exactly, it's a nubuck. It's very similar material, and it has that sort of like grandma's couch type of feel that whenever you brush it, it changes the tone a little bit, and from that you get a little bit of texture on it. I kind of like that. Not everyone might like that because it takes away from like a uniform look, where this gives it sort of like, it creates the opportunity to have more of like a patinaed, worn in kind of look, and I kind of like that. I like the patina that you get on high quality leather and suede and nubuck, and this one will definitely look really good over time in that it shouldn't crease too bad with the quality and the leather on these. You know, high quality soft leather is much more malleable and isn't too stiff. Whenever you get stiff leather, it creases really easily, and those creases are much harder to get out because it sort of like crumples and cracks in those areas. Where this one is much smoother and plush, so any creases aren't even going to be that noticeable. It'll sort of just naturally blend in with the rest of the sneaker. Or it could even give you a look that you want. Or if it does crease anyway, it'll be really easy to get out just by stuffing the toe box or by ironing it out. Yeah, really like the quality on the materials on these. The leather in the nubuck is really, really nice. I also love the color blocking on these, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people were into these. That it has that classic OG color blocking that you see from the black toes. You also see it on the Fragment Jordan 1s by having the heel and the wings be a certain signature color, while the swoosh and the toe box are all in black. While also having like a white collar and a black sock liner, which is a little bit different on a Jordan 1. Most OG Jordan 1 highs have the black collar with the black sock liner. Now this is an OG high Jordan 1, which is another thing that I really appreciate, that it came in the Nike box and it has the Nike Air on the nylon tongue, just like on other OGs. And on the insole, you get the Nike Air as well. You also get the outsole in black. Most of the shoe is black and white, which also makes it really neutral and really, really versatile. I think that's another thing that people really liked about this colorway specifically, is that it's very neutral. You can wear it with pretty much anything. Even with this color of the nubuck, yeah, it's kind of brown. And I'm personally not crazy about brown sneakers most of the time, but this is a lot less offensive. It's a very muted color, it's really more of like a gray almost, or at least in this lighting. I also notice that the midsole is really more of like an off-white. You know, these are brand new, never worn. And I could already tell that the white is has a little bit of like a tinge to it, like a little bit of like a vintage kind of look. It's not the same exact color as the white on the upper. It's a little bit brown, which I guess goes more into that sort of like mocha aesthetic. It also gives it sort of like a vintage aesthetic that you see with like off-white soled shoes that you see a lot on like Adidas, or just like really older vintage basketball shoes and tennis shoes. This kind of gives it that look. Yeah, like if I compare it to the midsole on my other OG highs, this white is definitely much more of like a real authentic white, like a really bright like titanium white, where this one has like a slight brown to it, a sort of very slight brown or yellow to it. It's an off-white, like an eggshell. So that's a little bit different too. I guess it goes more into like the aesthetic of the mocha, sort of like coffee or coffee bean water type of like colors, more earth tone type of thing. So that's a very subtle but nice touch to it. I kind of like that actually, and probably look even better as they're worn over time. But now here's the question: would you look at this and call it sort of like a knockoff or like a poor man's Travis Scott? With it having this nubuck material in pretty much an identical color, and that's also just what people are immediately comparing this shoe to, is the Travis Scott Jordan 1, and I see it, similar color, style cue type thing, same material on it, but this one has that black toe color blocking that a lot of people really like. That sort of is more of like homage to an OG. So it's kind of like the past and the present colliding, and because of that, I feel like this shoe kind of stands alone. I think it really holds up on its own really well. So to call it a poor man's Travis Scott is a little bit it takes a little bit of credit away from it. I think the shoe is just fine on its own. Now I do see the argument though. It kind of looks a lot like the Travis Scott one. I get that, it's the same color, same style cues. Since on the outside, the Travis Scott, of course, has the reverse swoosh, and on the heel it has the Cactus Jack. This doesn't have any of that because it's just an OG high Jordan 1 as opposed to a special collab. Whereas this shoe is just a classic shoe in a different colorway, something that's kind of like brought back, you know, it's a retro. Whereas the Travis Scott Jordan 1, though, yeah, it's technically also a classic silhouette and a retro, it's kind of a different shoe all on its own, since it's a really big collab with a big name, and it has this totally different take on the silhouette with that that massive reverse swoosh. It's like a whole big, like, it makes a statement. It's like this whole outrageous different aesthetic to it. And sure, yeah, this shoe on the market isn't going to cost as much as a Travis Scott Jordan 1. You're not going to get as much heat on it from a Travis Scott Jordan 1, but it's still a really good shoe. And yeah, it's a lot more affordable than a Travis Scott Jordan 1. Not everyone can afford them. And these will still give you a lot of heat because a lot of people, especially sneakerheads, will really appreciate this shoe. Someone buying this shoe is not buying them for the same reason as buying a Travis Scott. I just think it's just like a better version of the original with a new style. You know, it's like a new skin to the original thing in high quality. It's like taking an old movie, putting it in HD, and putting it in a new box. That's what I get from this, you know? Whereas a Travis Scott is like taking the same old movie but featuring new actors. You know, it's like a remake. This is like that. That's what it is. This is like this is like when you take an old movie or game and you do like an HD remaster. It's the same thing. It's the same exact movie or game, but they made it a little bit cleaner, you know? It's higher quality, it's an HD 4K, ooh, like it looks nice, but it's the same thing, you can count on it. You know it's gonna be good. But the Travis Scott is kind of like the remake, you know? It's the same story and the same aesthetics and everything, and it's higher quality, but there's something new to it. It's different, it has new people involved, and people who are getting into it aren't just getting into it because of the original, they're getting into it because of what's new about it, you know? That's kind of what separates it in terms of like the culture. That's my take on it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, you know? Do you think that this lives up to the hype? Do you think that it's a poor man's Travis Scott? Do you think it deserves its own place, it is its own thing? And let me know what sneaker you want to see next. I'll try to get my hands on it if I can. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when we're going to review our next pair of sneakers, or if you want to check out my vlogs. And most importantly, have a fantastic day.